not all families are the same. We may want to have families that are leave it to beaver type families with the picket fence. But certainly my family, while attempting to be supportive, I think, we're just in shock. And I think when the specialist said that chances are it was genetic, that just put a wrench into everybody's
Scares them.
thinking. And it was, that diagnosis was given to me in just strictly black and white terms. We had no support, had really no idea what to do. So my family took it to heart and what the physician said. And in retrospect, I can understand their thinking, but their whole rationale became protective. And so that's what they wanted to do, is to protect me. And so the best way of protecting Dad is, number one, taking away the walks in the River Valley with the dog, alone, taking away his driver's license, taking away the ability to make any sort of decisions, taking away the keys to the shop so I couldn't even go into the garage and make things, which I love doing. Taking away any of sharp implements in the garden that I may use or use incorrectly. And I went into just total depression. They had to recognize I needed some of those freedoms and those, just to maintain the skill level. Because I recognized that I was going downhill quickly. And if my memory was bad before, it was worse now. And they slowly adapted. But on the other hand, I will say one thing. My grandchildren have been the saving grace. Because I think children have this ability to see past the problems and just look at the person themselves, no matter what they're like. And my grandchildren recognized that my memory is failing and that sometimes I forget key moments in their life. But they're more than willing to sit down and explain those moments to me. And to jog my memory and to cue me back in to really where I should be.
Well, our children come and see us one at a time. So, because if we had all four, it would be too overwhelming for me if we had the four and the grandkids and the great-grandkids. So they don't all come at once. They come in smaller groups or couples. And since we've just moved, they've all come to see where we're living now. And, pardon me, it's very comfortable and it's very pleasant. And I'm a very happy person. I have what I have, and it's like, so what? I can't change it.
Isn't that true?
I have a very loving husband, and all the children and grandchildren, and even the great-grandchild, you know, he'll cuddle up to me, and I mean, of course, he doesn't know the difference. But even though the rest of the family do know, they treat me exactly as I was before. There is no disrespect or lack of believing I'm okay.
Talk about loving grandchildren. I'll tell them the story. I was in Costco, and it's funny because I can remember. It's surprising what you can remember and what doesn't. It is gone. But my daughter and I and my little grandson 10 were in Costco about 3 months ago, and too much stimulation in the store, or noise, or people, too many people. That's when things go crazy for us. So I was doing good, not because I love shopping and looking. I put myself into the situations that somebody might not go there for, but I still want to do that yet. And all of a sudden I needed my daughter for something, to show her something. And I started yelling, "Mommy, mommy, mommy," like over and over and over, right? So my little grandson comes up to me and grabs my hand and he says, "It's okay, Nan, you're okay." And it happened a second time. And he was so good with me and so patient and just reassuring me that I was all right, took me to his mom. And then at the end, we get to the lineup where we're paying, and we're standing there for a few minutes, and I'm standing there, and he comes up and he taps me on the shoulder and he says, "Nanny, it's okay if you do, but would you try not to embarrass me, because my friend from school is behind us." And I thought, how adorable, how cute, you know, because he knew enough that it might embarrass him,
Sure.
but he was talking to me about it. He wasn't pretending it wasn't happening. And
Technology, I think, has been the saving grace for us, you know, in many respects.
yes,
You know, I get lost. Got a cell phone. Some of the cell phones you get now give off a continuous ping. So if you have a son or daughter or grandchildren on their computer, they know exactly where you're at anyway.
wow,
I think medication, and we haven't really talked about medication, but medication has played a major, major role
Yes.
for all of us.
Yeah.
what they do give meds for things like sleeping, because something happens with the brain for me. I mean, I just won't even go to sleep, so sleeping is a problem. And I think further on with Alzheimer's, at least with my mother, that became a major problem, where she would just walk at night and couldn't rest at night. So sleeping and it's an antidepressant they give me to sleep. And if you're irritable, is that the word? There's medication that they will give you for that, you know, if you're going to fly off the handle. And sometimes you don't even know you're flying. I don't have a bad temper, but with this illness, when we talk about large crowds, too many grandchildren at the same time and family, it can be the most loving, supportive people at that table. But if everybody's
Mm-hmm.
cross-talking and not, it can be very overwhelming, and some of the little words that came out of my mouth weren't what they expected their mother or grandmother to say, you know. Part of this illness for our friends and families and loved ones is to understand what can get us going too and what can be upsetting. And I remember when Mom got like that, I just think, well, get up and go downstairs, you know. Sometimes I can't get up and go downstairs. My brain is not saying move. So I've had to tell my kids ahead of time when they see me getting like that, could they please just come and suggest we go out of the room or go. So I'm not blurting out and telling